Have you ever been in a church or at a youth meeting or a conference and see other people looking like they're having these crazy spiritual experiences with God, or even just talking about it, and you're just standing there like, I ain't feeling it? I've felt that so many times, and sometimes it can give me this awful feeling of, is there something wrong with me? Like, why is it that other people are meeting with God in that way, but it's just not happening to me? Is it bad that I don't feel or experience God like everyone else does? Let's find out. Firstly, it's not how much we feel or experience God that shows if we're good and mature Christians. Scripture actually tells us it's something completely different. It says that we walk by faith and not by sight. We're saved through faith, and the righteous will live by faith. There you go, you probably guessed that. But faith in what? Well, it's faith in Jesus' love for us. It's faith in Jesus' life, death and resurrection and what he did on the cross. And that makes us righteous, and it enables us to become whole and children of God. It's having faith that in Jesus we have all of that. So, like I say, it's not about having these spiritual encounters with God that shows if we're healthy Christians or not. It's by believing those things about Jesus and what that means for us. In fact, a sign of becoming a mature Christian is that we're confident in our identity and our place in God, even when we don't have those encounters and experiences. So, no, there is nothing wrong with you if you're not experiencing God the same way that others do, because that's not the sign of a good Christian. It's all about actually believing in Jesus. Also, everyone experiences God differently. So it's important not to compare the way that someone else might be encountering God to you, because you'll probably experience him in a different way. With me, for example, I was worried that I wasn't feeling giddy or laughing or anything really. And then I realised that I didn't experience God like that. Rather, I felt a sort of steady, grounded feeling, like a physical sense of security in him. But while I was looking at others and trying to experience God in that way, I was actually missing out what God wanted to do with me. Now, this might not be a very popular thing to say, but I think it's worth honestly acknowledging that there are times, definitely not all the time, but on occasions where we can get carried away by the atmosphere and the excitement in the room, and sometimes do things that might not actually be us encountering God. I know there's been times where I've got carried away and in the moment and sort of shaken about, or thought I was speaking in tongues, and many other things. And actually, looking back, I was mainly doing those things because I wanted to have a spiritual experience rather than actually encountering God, kind of like a placebo effect. Now, I've already said that everyone encounters God differently, so I'm really not trying to discount any spiritual encounters, but I know that I'm not alone in saying that on my journey to understanding God and trying to figure out how to connect with him, I have done stuff out of the desire to have these spiritual experiences rather than actually encountering God. And that's good to acknowledge too, because I've known Christians who have based their faith in having these experiences in worship, and then when they've realised they might be doing what I've just explained, then they start to question their faith. But if we realise that the core of our being a Christian is faith in Jesus and his life and death and resurrection, and what that means for us, which anyone can do, then suddenly we feel freed from worrying about whether we're a good Christian or not. So living by faith then does not mean basing our relationship with God off what we see and experience, but rather base it on trusting what Jesus did for us on the cross was enough to save us. We all experience God differently, so don't compare yourself with others, because sometimes in trying to experience God like others do, we can miss out on what God is trying to do in us. So yeah, see you next time.